Blog Talk Radio.
You are live at the Literary Lounge with your host, Destiny D, bringing you the newest and the brightest of the literary world right to your ear hole. Every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in, listen up, and learn something. This is the spot for new hot authors who are given the opportunity to shine. Each Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will showcase a new author here at the Literary Lounge. We are taking out the time to give all of our literary friends an opportunity to showcase their work. The New Author Spotlight is a platform that allows us to ask up to 10 questions or more to give you, the audience, the most in-depth current information about each writer in their literary piece. We will have a new guest every week. Stay tuned.
Hey, hey, hey. You are listening to your girl, Destiny D, live on WTLR Radio. And today's date is June 15, 2019, and you are listening to the Literary Lounge. I'd like to welcome you into our new episode, 59, where our special guest will be none other than Sister A.A. Lewis. We're going to give her an opportunity to tell us a little bit about her writing career, a little bit about her new release, and also if she has any events in the near future that we should know about. So let's go ahead and get her on the line. Hello, Ms. Lewis. Are you there?
I'm here.
All right, all right. So I want to dig right into this interview with you, and I want you to give your formal introduction. Let me know who you are and where you're coming from.
I am, I live in Michigan. I'm originally from Buffalo, New York, which is why the first series that I've actually published is entitled The 716. I have been writing for over 20 plus years. I come from a very creative background. Actually went to a school for the performing arts in Buffalo, New York, is where I think most of my love for writing and creating characters came from. I was actually a theater major, and once I found out that you actually get paid a little bit more being behind the stage and actually creating the characters I was acting out, I sort of switched my direction and how I wanted to use my talent. So I've been steadily writing, keeping journals, and finally, after 20 years, got the courage to actually have something be published and be willing to share my talent.
All right. Now, can we get, I guess, some information as far as how your name came about? I know that you're A.A. Lewis, but what does those A's stand for, if you don't mind?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that. No, A.A. is actually my middle name. So I write under Anika Ayo. Lewis is my name. Actually, and the A.A. part of it is my middle name. My real name is Boyani Anike Ayo Lewis. So I just decided for now, I wanted to write under A.A. Lewis. One, it was shorter, but two, it allowed me to separate the author from the person that I am. So that's where the AA came from.
Okay. So when did your love for writing tend to put you in the spectrum of becoming an author?
Like I said before, I loved writing. I loved creating characters. Even as a kid, I had a very overactive imagination. And then as a theater major growing up, being able to improvise and to come up with these characters and these storylines, but then taking it to a next level and actually writing it down. Usually what happens with me is, I find a character or I find some kind of inspiration in something, and then it leads me to a story. And I find myself writing it down and then, adding other individuals into the mix to come up with these fascinating stories or and pictures of characters that, I just want to know what happened to them. So throughout my journey of writing, it started very simple, just keeping a journal. And then from there, developing those characters and giving them a voice and life and trying to figure out, what are they trying to tell me. And then from there, I decided that it was time that I just share. I thought I was being selfish, not sharing my gifts. But I just enjoyed writing, and I thought that would just be enough for me. But what I've been finding out from some of the interactions with people who have actually read, the stories that I've told so far is that, I've done a disservice to myself. I probably should have been publishing a long time ago. I think I have a unique perspective on things, and some of the storylines may seem, pretty consistent with what's out there in the urban community, but I think I'm putting a nice little twist on some of these things, and it's just now is the time for me to publish and, not to hide those talents anymore.
Right. And I'm glad that you mentioned that. A lot of people tend to sit on stuff for years without publishing because they think that it's going to, cost a lot of money. They think that it's going to be a lot of time-consuming things, and they don't know what to do with it. They've written it, but they're just sitting on it. So I'm glad that you actually decided to go ahead and do it. With this new book that you have, The 716 Love and Consequences, what brought that book about?
Well, this is Stephanie, the book that I probably should have written 20 years ago. I'm from Buffalo, New York. So the 716 is actually the area code for Buffalo, New York. These characters that are in the book had played in my mind for years. I would write down in my journal little bits and pieces, like if I ever wrote a book, I want to write about this type of character. Or, I want to, be able to tell the story of love from a male's point of view and have it seem real. And when I started writing this book, what I noticed was, especially since the book is actually set in the 1990s, I would listen to a lot of the 1990s music. So everything from R&B to hip hop, was playing as I, was creating these characters. And before I knew it, I had written something that was highly influenced by the music. So with the 716 Love and Consequences, it's taken us from the early 90s, where hip-hop and R&B were starting to take on some new flavors and becoming a little bit more mainstream. So every chapter in the book is actually entitled after a song from that early decade. So as the book progresses, it kind of takes you on a journey, a musical journey, but also you get to see the mindset of the characters. It creates the backdrop for how they're feeling, what they're going through. And you know how sometimes we say music is, is the what the soundtrack to our lives. Well, this book actually is taking you through that. It's definitely a soundtrack of the 90s, but it also takes you back down memory lane. And, when you first hear that one song and you're like, oh, my God, I remember what I was doing when I heard that. Like, for instance, I just happened to be thinking chapter 13 in the Love and Consequences is entitled after Houdini's The Freaks Come Out at Night. You can interpret that song so many different ways. But, when you first heard that beat, you were like, yeah, it was something you could groove to, and you remember and recall where you were when that song came on. That's the type of feeling that I wanted to invoke in the readers. So you don't necessarily have to be from Buffalo. I think the music brings us all together, and the fact that these characters are so relatable, I think you can place them in any urban city and still have that same effect. And from some of the feedback that I've been getting, a lot of these characters are your best friends, are people that you know, whether it's male or female. I think their point of view and the fact that they're so unique in their own way, it reminds you of somebody. And the music just brings it all together.
Yeah, I was just thinking, as you said, the titles of the song, and the first thing that came to my mind was Breaking, and that movie Beat Street.
Oh yeah,
that was very.
You see what I mean? It took you to a place in your early years that was something fun, and it's very nostalgic. Like, so I'm happy that you shared that, because I almost forgot about Beat Street. And that's a classic.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, as soon I can hear the actual song in my ears, and the first thing I see is them doing the break dancing and the graffitiing and all of that stuff on the movie. So yeah, that's actually kind of cool. I'm glad that you did a book like that, because it allows you, like you said, to tie in the soundtrack to our lives. Because there's certain songs that I remember from childhood, and I could tell you exactly where I was, what I was doing, when that song was playing. So definitely, that's awesome, and it allows other people to reflect, like, on what they were doing during that time, and it does make things more relatable to people, especially when they have something significant that ties to the very song that you have put inside the book. So I do appreciate you going on that note. That's awesome that you did that. I only shared maybe like a year in Brooklyn, and I think I was in the Bronx for maybe like 6 months. But I could only imagine what it was like back in the 90s. I'm pretty sure it probably was a whole lot better. A whole lot laid back, a lot less drama back then.
Yeah, when you think of New York and the musical influence that it's had on our culture, no one could have predicted that hip hop or R&B, for that matter, would be so dominant in everything that we do today. Like, certain products can't sell, without having some of our flavor in it. So it was, thinking about the 80s and the 90s. Like, those two eras right there is what's making, money right now. And we were told back then that our music wouldn't last. Like, they said it was horrible. But what I wanted to do with that is turn it into something that we could all groove to. Like, I think, and I didn't realize how much music influenced the way that I am as a person today. So with my selections of the songs in here, like, we went way back. Like, I went, there's a chapter where there's some, DJ Quick Tonight is in there. I had a little guy. You Can Call Me Crazy. And what I was doing when I was, picking these songs was trying to make sure it wasn't just the one song that we always heard on the the radio in heavy rotation. Because you know, Destiny,
Right.
back then, if you bought an album, you didn't just buy it because it had one hot song. You were gonna listen to the whole song. And if you didn't, you wouldn't be in the know for when that next song hits the airwaves. You wouldn't know the lyrics, so you couldn't sing along with everybody on the street or at the club. So you listened to the whole tape or, the whole cassette. And in doing that, you had those little hidden gems. So when I was picking songs, I didn't always go for the one song from the artist that was, always in heavy rotation. But maybe that song that when you were at home in your room, you put that cassette or that tape in and you jammed to. And it took you back to those type of memories. So I think there's the musical selection in here. People will find, kind of definitely fun, nostalgic, but still relevant. Like, these are songs that we play now, and we call them old school, and we all get up and jam at a party or a wedding or something. So I think everybody will find a little something in the musical selection.
Yeah, and I think the old school is a whole lot better than some of the new stuff that's coming out. Cause like the trap rap scene is ridiculous. Like, I don't even understand half of what they saying, and I don't think they understand half of what they saying.
Yeah, you know what? Destiny, I am not going to diss anybody's, their musical taste. What I'm going to say is the music from generations past told stories. And, we could all relate to it. So if my mother put on some Marvin Gaye, I knew what time it was. Like, she was reminiscing, she was jamming, we were having fun. We could all sing the songs, even if, sexual healing wasn't a good song for a kid to sing back in the day. We knew it, and now it all makes sense now. But you see what I mean? I can't relate to the music that some people, the message that they're sending today, and that's okay because it's not for me. If I'm a 90s kind of girl, then that's where my heart's gonna stay as far as the music is concerned. I'll leave that to the younger generation. But the cool thing about it is, you still hear the beat, and I might not know the lyrics, but some of these beats that are out there today, I'm like, wow, that's a dope beat. Can't understand the lyrics like you said, but music is music, and at some point it all brings us together. And I'd imagine our parents felt the same way about our rap and our hip hop back in the day, the way we feel about some of the younger generation now.
Right, that's probably true. But I've been in music for so long. It's like, good music when you hear it, regardless of who's doing it. Like, I've noticed, like, I like Talib Kweli. I like Common. I like Chance the Rapper. Those that's hip hop. This trap stuff with it. Versace, and that's like 3/4 of the track. I don't get that. Like, but people love it. I don't. But I can't say the fly for everybody else. But for me, it just, I don't know. It's like redundant and repetitive, and then the rest of it you don't understand. But to get back to your book, because we don't have a lot of time. How long has it been since it's been put out? Like, and how much is it going for, and where can we find it?
Yeah, the 716 Love and Consequences has been out for a year now. So I released it back in, actually, not quite a year, August of last year. It and the follow-up, the 716 Back to Business, is the second book in the trilogy, has been out now for a little over 5 months. It's both of them you can find on Amazon, Barnes and Noble's, Kobo, which is Walmart bookstore, online bookstore, and you can buy it also direct from my publisher, which is DNS Publishing, on their webpage. Book one is going for $10 right now. Book two is going for $15. And if you have any trouble, you can always hit me up, and I'll be more than happy to send you out an autographed copy of the book. It's definitely a do not miss. Like, everybody who is reaching on this book is going to regret it. And I say this because I have had several people say, I wasn't sure what to expect, but when they read it, they were like, wow. And great for the feedback, but is the concept in itself, the friendship that's outlined in here among these four girlfriends, the consequences they have of loving men that may not be good for them, or just being in relationships that are not healthy. I think at some point we've all been down that road, but then seeing them evolve into, different aspects of their life and overcoming some serious tragedies and, just dealing with life, which is, something we're all trying to manage. I think with both of the books you'll find there's a lot of humor, there's a lot of fun. It's definitely gritty. It's an urban tale, and it's raw and it's honest, and the music is dead on. It'll take you down memory lane. So yeah, Amazon. You can hit me up on my Facebook page, which is author A.A. Lewis, or on Instagram, I'm at A_A_Lewis716. But Amazon has it on sale, both in paperback, and if you are an unlimited customer, Kindle Unlimited, you can read it for free. I welcome all your feedback, and I try to reach out to as many fans as I possibly can with your questions and comments.
All right. And do you have any events coming up in the near future that we should know about where we can do a meet and greet?
Yes, actually next week I am doing my first show in Buffalo, New York. So I will be there from the 21st through the 23rd at the Black Music Conference Award ceremony, which is going to be at the Millennium Hotel right next door to the Galleria Mall there. You can come by, stop, say hello. If you have the book and would like for me to autograph it, I can certainly do that, but you can also pick up copies of everything in the 716. The whole brand is there. So you can get the book, the T-shirts, and just chat with me. I'm very relaxed and laid back, but love to hear your feedback or, any things that you would like to do differently. Had a couple customers at some previous shows actually asked me to put a couple different songs in the next book that's coming out. So, I try to please everyone who's reading the book. So, yeah, that's happening next weekend. And then in August, I will be at the Chicago Urban Book Expo. That is August 24th, and you can actually look me up on my author Facebook page and Instagram, and you can find that too. And I'm also going to be in the Bronx. The date is to be announced, but I'll be in New York at an urban book fair there late this fall. So look forward to that. And unfortunately, I'm not able to make it to the Atlanta Kickback this year, but I'll definitely be there next year. So I'm slowly making my way around. And as I do, like I said, you can follow me, and you can stay up to date on anywhere that I'm going to be so that we can reach out and connect.
All right. Do you have a website or anything that we should know about?
Yes. AuthorAALewis.com is the website. I also have a blog on there, so it'll help you walk through some of my journeys dealing with this author world that I'm in now. So, yep, AuthorAALewis.com, on Facebook at AuthorAALewis, and again, Instagram, A_A_Lewis716, and then I tweet at AALewis6. So you can find me on social media just about anywhere.
All right, and we have just a few moments for you to give your final reflection. If you have anything that you would like to say as far as to your readers or any special thank yous that you'd like to give, you can do so now.
Well, I'm a thank you, Destiny, for everything that you do in the literary world. It's difficult to be a self-published author and get the marketing and the publicity, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna say shout out to you and your team for making everybody who come on feel welcome, and giving us a platform to share our gifts. Most importantly, I'm gonna take a moment out to thank my number one fan, which has been my husband, because without him and his constant encouragement and push, I wouldn't have published. And, I definitely wouldn't have had some of the songs that I have in the book, because when I chose one, he would give me something else to think about, which I think, made all the difference in the book. So between me and him and his musical selection, we were able to come up with a really great read that I think anyone out there would be happy that they spent the money on to read it. And hopefully I'll gain some fans that way and be able to write more books that everyone will enjoy. So I want to thank anyone who purchased the book. And like I said, leave a review, leave a comment, hit me up. I'm more than willing to talk about the book to anyone, answer any questions you have. And most definitely, if there are any songs that you'd like to see happening in the final book of the 716 series, which will be out hopefully by the end of this year, hit me up and let me know. It's all about the 90s, and book 2 actually goes into the early 2000s. So if there's any songs that you used to jam to and would like for me to include in the book, I'd be more than happy to consider that.
All right, and I wanted to thank you so much for taking out the time. I know you're very busy, but I really do thank you for being on the show. And like I say on every show, this show would be nothing without you, our guest. So I wanted to thank you personally for being on the show, and I thank you. Also want to let you know that your interview will be available for playback. We will send you a link where you can actually replay it, use it to your discretion, as far as being able to put it on all of your social media. Also, it will be on our YouTube channel. So if you know anything about YouTube, you can look up our channel, Transparency Library, and you will see your show on the air in shortly, a few minutes, and you'll be able to use that as well as far as your usage. So, as I said again, thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your Father's Day weekend, and we appreciate you, and continue to do what you do, okay?
Thank you so much, Destiny. You too. Have a great weekend.
All right.
Tired, stressed, long work week. Well, visit its Spamtastic Spa and Bakery, the DMV's first cannabis-friendly spa and bakery, where we provide infused spa services and infused skincare products to help heal your mind, body, and spirit. We also have awesome treats and much more to infuse your day. So give us a call at 202-341-7082 or 202-455-6485. Or you can check us out on IG at its_Bamtastic. And remember, if you can eat it or use it, we infuse it.
All right, guys, make sure you tune in next week, where our special guest will be none other than Sister Demetria Westbrook.
You are live at the Literary Lounge with your host, Destiny D, bringing you the newest and the brightest of the literary world right to your ear hole. Every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in, listen up, and learn something.